Take a good look at this house. The aesthetic, the way everything is exactly where it should be. Small children live here, and it still looks like that. Josh and Abby Herbert have built one of the most followed family brands on the internet. 15 million followers on TikTok alone. Millions more across YouTube and Instagram. Brand deals with some of the biggest names in retail. A daughter whose face has been on a billboard. A content machine that has not stopped running since before any of their 3 children could walk or talk. But before the kids and the money, Josh was a musician going on tour and coming home with nothing. Abby was a model doing $500 gigs. They watched everything fail until they found the one thing the internet could not look away from. Today we're doing a full breakdown of Josh and Abby Herbert, the most calculated family channel on the internet. And by the time this is over, you are never going to look at a family vlog the same way again.
Now with Jagger ready to start solids, I can feel good knowing I'm feeding my children good high-quality ingredients with Stonyfield.
So before we get into everything else, I do want to start with what I think is actually the beginning of their strategy, because it tells you a lot about how these two think. And we're going to start from the height thing, because a lot of people often just write that off as a harmless running joke between a couple, and sure, on the surface maybe. But when you actually look at what they were doing and how early they were doing it, I think it starts to paint a pretty clear picture.
If 2 plus 2 is 4, right? And 5 plus 5 is 10, okay. What the fuck is this?
I did not care for The Godfather.
What?
Did not care for The Godfather.
How can you even say that, Dad?
Didn't like it.
So Josh Herbert is 5 feet 6 inches, which I want to be clear is not short. Like that's completely normal height for a man. But Abby is taller than him, and on TikTok, apparently, that's enough to build an entire content franchise around. And what they were doing wasn't like, oh, we're a funny couple, look at our height difference, ha ha ha. No, they were engineering it. From boxes under Abby's feet to holes dug into the ground for Josh to stand in. Camera angles that were so deliberately set up that people genuinely could not tell what was real. And you can see it right there, right? Like it's so obviously constructed. And yet it works because it makes you stop. It makes you look twice. And stopping is the whole game on TikTok. People were genuinely confused. And confused people ask questions. And questions keep a comment section alive. And a live comment section tells the algorithm that something interesting is happening here. So now the video gets pushed to more people. And guess who also gets confused and also asks questions? Yeah, the new audience. Now, even when they act like Josh is taller, it's always an optical illusion.
Wait, hold on. Ready? So how we do my pose? 1, 2, 3, and
And the thing that I think is actually worth acknowledging here is that this wasn't accidental. This was them figuring out very early on what their content engine was going to be. It's a small manufactured controversy, just enough to make people argue, but not actually enough to damage anything. And look, I think what they figured out very early on, and this is the part that actually impresses me in a kind of unsettling way, is that it doesn't matter if the comments are nice. It doesn't matter if people are rooting for you or making fun of you. What matters is that they stop scrolling.
The dad is small. Period. Ew.
There is nothing worse than a little man. LOL. We all know that he doesn't run anything in that household. Ha 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 ha.
This guy's whole purpose in life is to pose for her TikTok so she can say she's taller than him. Bro, you don't need to do it. Have some pride.
That one.
You okay?
Yeah, that one just... I don't know, that one just got through. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Hate engagement pays the exact same as regular engagement, and they knew that before a lot of people were willing to agree. Now, something that I think gets skipped over a lot when people talk about Josh and Abby is that Josh was trying to be a musician. Like, that was what he wanted his life to be. He was doing tours, writing original music, trying to build a career the traditional way. And Abby at the time was a model. That's literally how they met.
Josh is a musician. I am a model. I was hired to be in his music video.
And eventually they built a relationship. But what they were doing in those early days wasn't really couple content, not at its core. It was a delivery system for his music, and it was working in the sense that people were watching. But the music itself wasn't breaking through the way they needed it to.
Paradise, baby, the only lover in
can see what they're doing there. It's charming, it's romantic, it's well shot, and his music is right there in the middle of it, baked in. You're not just being asked to go find his Spotify page, you're just watching a cute couple video and his song is already playing. That's actually a genuinely clever approach to music marketing, I'll give him that. They used their wedding the same way. They wrote the first dance song and they documented the whole thing, which meant that the most emotionally loaded moment of their relationship became a vehicle for his original music. And then the pregnancies, then the romantic skits, all of it scored with his songs. But that got repackaged into something that was easier to monetize. So at some point they made a decision. And I genuinely don't know if it was a conscious sit down and talk about it kind of decision, or if it just kind of evolved naturally out of what was already working for them. But either way, the result was the same. They leaned into pregnancy content. And not just the pregnancy itself, the whole process of trying to conceive, which is something that's genuinely emotional and private for most people. And then she got pregnant, which is when things really shifted into a different gear entirely. So Abby was good enough at modeling to keep booking jobs even while she was pregnant. But what I think is more interesting is how she used that tension, that dual identity, as a way to promote herself.
Yes, I'm the girl on TikTok that constantly asks her husband for a baby, and you guys are Team Baby Herbert all the way. I've been tagged in this video so many times I thought I would give it a try.
On one side, you have the high fashion model. On the other, you have the woman with a growing belly she's hiding under her clothes at the shoot. And the contrast between those two things is genuinely compelling. It makes you watch.
5, 6, 7, 8. Be gone. Don't let go too strong. Get back. Come up. 5, 6, 7, 8. Be gone. Don't let go too strong. Get back. Come up.
Now the audience feels like they've been on this journey with her. They're invested. And an invested audience is an audience that shows up for the next chapter of your life. And what happened practically as a result of that investment is that the numbers shifted dramatically. The modeling gigs that were bringing in a few $100s started to matter a lot less, because the brand deals that came from the pregnancy content were worth significantly more. And that's the exact moment where a child, before they were even born, before they had a name, became a business asset. Whether that was the intention of the Herberts or not, that's what happened when she gave birth. Starting with the gender reveal, which for most people is a private or semi-private moment. A party with close family, maybe a small post after. But not for Josh and Abby.
3, 2, 1, right?
I don't know, I'm nervous. I don't want to do it.
All right.
I don't want to mess it up.
All right, boy or girl?
So I go like this.
Yep. All right. 3, 2, 1.
So the reveal isn't just a reveal, it's a growth target. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit 1 million, and then we'll tell you. That's a remarkable thing to do, because they took a moment that people genuinely wanted to be a part of, that people were emotionally invested in, and they turned it into a subscriber drive.
I'm going, girl. Let's go! Yeah.
And even the official reveal TikTok isn't the actual reveal. It's a redirect to watch the full thing on YouTube. Go over there, subscribe first. And people did, because by this point they were too invested not to. And now Abby knows exactly how far she can push before people walk away, which, as it turns out, is pretty far. So the baby's here. Poppy James Herbert has entered the world. And I want you to notice something about how that sentence just sounded, because I said it like a normal human being announcing a birth. Josh and Abby did not do that. What these new first-time parents did instead was hold the name hostage for a month, make people guess letters, and run it as a multi-part series.
Letting you guys, our subscribers, pick the baby's name. So, Reese.
Witherspoon. That's Jasmine. I'm a big Disney fan. Picture it in lights.
Lights.
Breeze. We have a last name, Drew Brees, quarterback.
Okay. Rosemary.
Had a great aunt.
Oh, did you? Beanie.
Beanie.
Debbie.
Classy. Classy, the Debbie cakes.
And then when they were finally ready to reveal it, they gave the exclusive first photo to People magazine. So it's not even just that they delayed the reveal. They made the audience feel like they were participating in it, like they had a vote, like this was something they were doing together. Now, if you're not just watching, you're invested, because you suggested a name and you want to know if they picked it. So you keep coming back and keep the engagement loop running. And in the meantime, they did a People magazine exclusive for the first photo. A People magazine exclusive for a baby that's not a celebrity baby, but a TikTok baby? And I'm not even saying that to be dismissive, but it really tells you exactly how serious they were treating this. This was a product launch, complete with an exclusive media deal like a neat little bow. And then came the content about Poppy herself. And this is where things start to get a little strange, because the way they filmed her in those early days was deliberate in the least. It was a little uncanny, and that uncanny quality makes people stop, which is the whole game, as we've already established.
I sit by myself, talking to the moon.
And you can see it in the comments. People weren't sure what they were looking at. And then the name thing added another layer to that, because Poppy, which is her actual legal name, got shortened, or extended, depending on how you look at it, to boot. And that became a whole other content outlet.
You gon' make me need bail, you know that. Caught living with your friend, you ain't even have me lying on you.
Now look, nicknames are normal. Every parent has a weird nickname for their kid that makes no sense to anyone outside the family. The issue here is what happens when you put it on the internet for over 15 million people. Because what you get is this. And Abby responds to all of it, which keeps the conversation alive, which drives more views, which brings in more people who have opinions, which creates more engagement. It's a perfect little loop.
Don't want it, won't happen. Hope little rock star.
And then, because they know exactly how this works at this point, they escalated it. It's a joke. She didn't actually do it. But for the few seconds before the punchline lands, everyone watching genuinely isn't sure. And that uncertainty that, wait, did she actually moment, is exactly what they were going for. Every single time. And when people pushed back on any of this, Abby had a very specific way of responding to it, which was to film the response, post it, and get more views out of the criticism than she probably got out of the original video.
Hey, we need to talk about this because some of y'all are seriously so toxic. I posted a video of the trending sound of Jeremy Allen's Calvin Klein campaign and my husband me pushing his head away because I was enjoying the video.
And while I understand that when you're putting yourself online, you're gonna get some criticism, some of it fair and some of it not, and you're allowed to respond to it. But there's a difference between responding to criticism and converting it. And Abby is very, very good at converting it. But the issue with building your content around a baby is that babies grow. They become toddlers. They start having bad days on camera. And I think Josh and Abby were aware of this because before Poppy was even out of her first year, they started laying the groundwork for the next chapter.
We are actually running late. We're heading to Poppy's ultrasound just to make sure everything's okay with her bones. We're heading there now. I gotta go get the car seat.
So we got the prescription for the ultrasound. I'm a little nervous. I don't know how they're gonna do an ultrasound on a little baby.
Now, I want us all to be careful here because a child needing a medical checkup is not content. That's just parenting. And I'm not saying that Poppy wasn't actually having a health issue that needed to be looked at. But the way it was framed from the hook, the title, to the decision to post it at all, that's worth talking about. Mind you, this is a pattern that's going to come up a lot as we go further into this. The hook is always a little scarier than the reality. The comments are always full of people who are genuinely worried, and the responses the Herberts always deliver are done in a way that keeps people engaged enough to come back for the next one. It's not malicious in isolation, but it becomes a pattern, and patterns are intentional. So then comes the second pregnancy, and even before she was pregnant again, she was already teasing it.
I think of the night in the park, it was getting dark and we stayed up for hours. What a lie, what a lie, what a lie.
That's a teaser. That's someone leaving a door slightly open and waiting for people to walk through it. And then when she was actually pregnant, she posted this.
Do not sell marijuana to my husband.
Okay.
It was like she was gunning for Irish twins, 2 children born within 12 months of each other, maybe out of the thirst for more virality. Anyway, the comments section predictably went exactly where she needed it to go. And there it is, another reveal date, which is another thing to wait for, another reason to keep coming back. And of course, the reveal itself is not just a reveal. It's never with these two. It's a series. It's a multi-part event with a call to action directing you somewhere else to get the full story.
I think it's a boy.
I'm going Team Boy as well.
It's gonna be a boy. I think it's gonna be a girl. It's gonna be a boy.
It's gonna be a boy.
Boy.
And while all of that's happening, while people are waiting to find out whether this unborn baby is a boy or a girl, Abby suddenly launched a clothing collection. The Poppy dress, priced at $169, is named after her daughter, released in honor of Poppy's first birthday, while simultaneously teasing a Team Boy outcome for the second child. And then there's the sibling reveal content, which is genuinely some of the most effective content these calculated couples ever made, because you've already been with Poppy since before she was born. You know her, you have a relationship with her, and now you get to watch her find out she's getting a brother. And look, that's a sweet moment. We don't have to pretend it isn't. But sweet moments and calculated moments are not mutually exclusive. The purpose here is to transfer the emotional investment the audience already has in Poppy onto the new baby before he's even born. Child 1 is being used to market Child 2. The first product introduces the second product. It's that simple. And then when it came time to reveal the name, that moment was also tied to a Kay Jewelers sponsorship.
You and I did not make a sense. Tell me why you put it on.
Tagged #KPartner. That's a confirmed paid collaboration. And I genuinely cannot tell you how much Kay Jewelers paid for that, but if I had to guess, I would put it somewhere in the six figures. And just to round out how they were publicly framing all of this, around the time Yeager was born, Abby did an exclusive interview with E! News. It's a new trend right now, she joked, of welcoming son Yeager March 13th, 2 months before daughter Poppy's second birthday, May 11th. In all seriousness, though, the idea of simultaneously raising a newborn and a toddler has proved far more daunting than the reality. You hear like, oh, 2 kids, it's scary? She detailed in that exclusive interview with E! News. I think going from no kids to 1 was more intimidating than 1 to 2 because that anxiety, that new mom feeling of, like, what do you do? Yeah, you're relatable, warm and down to earth. 2 kids under 2, figuring it out just like everyone else. And simultaneously, a Huggies partnership in the same interview. Right. And then there's the aesthetic. Because if you've spent any time on Abby's page, you know that everything in that house is a specific shade of beige. The furniture, the walls, the children's clothing, the children's toys, the children's rooms, all of it exists within a very controlled, very curated visual palette. So Poppy asks for a ballerina Disney princess room. Yeager asks for dinosaurs, and what they got was beige. Tasteful, expensive, Instagram-ready, aesthetically consistent with the brand. And the comments saw it immediately. The room reveal is also a Pottery Barn Kids ad. The children's wishes are also a shopping list. And Abby turned that aesthetic into a commercial partnership with Young Days, a gender-neutral children's clothing line described as perfectly neutral, inspired by Poppy and Yeager. The kids aren't allowed to have a messy, colorful, overstimulating bedroom because if they don't match the rug, the lifestyle brand loses its coherence. And the lifestyle brand is the business. And the business comes first, right? So we get to the third pregnancy, Rocky Blue Herbert, born December 2025. And everything with the other kids happens again. The The hook for this one was that Abby's TikTok comment saved her baby, that followers noticed her scratching her hands in a vlog, recognized it as a possible symptom of cholestasis, a liver condition that can be serious in pregnancy, and that their concern prompted her to get checked out, leading to an emergency C-section. Yeah, cholestasis is real. It can be genuinely dangerous. I'm not dismissing the medical reality of what happened. But the framing of the internet saved my baby is doing something very specific. It's telling our audience that they matter, that their presence is not just passive watching, but active participation in the safety of this family, that they're necessary, and an audience that believes it's necessary will never leave. It'll share the content. It will buy the products.
I have to whisper, Miss Jacker's in my bed right now. My hands have been itchy and I've had this rash and my test results just came back and it says they're high. Now I'm prepping to go to the hospital today. Oh no, I just got a text from my doctor. Hold on. He just said my levels are elevated. Oh my god. I have nothing. My diaper bag did not come yet. I literally ordered it yesterday. Okay. Oh my god. Thank you. See you soon. Alright, Josh. I have to laugh or I'm gonna cry. Mommy's gotta go to the hospital. Today? I wanna go with you. I know. I'm sorry, buddy. Yes! You excited to see your brother? Yeah. Hey, Josh, it's a good thing that I got checked. I don't even have a nursing bra. Mommy, I don't have a bra on. Oh! Okay. I'm fishing. You're fishing? Oh, I think I'm well. Wait, what?
Meanwhile, there's a video that Abby posted a year or two ago where she talks about her daughter's artwork, and she seems genuinely unsettled by it. But I don't think she fully understood what she was looking at.
I need everyone to stop what they're doing, watch this video, because I'm genuinely scared and kind of terrified. So this little one right here, this little gremlin, she loves to draw, she loves to color. For this all herself, as you can see, she loves to do self-portraits. This is Daddy, that's Mommy, that's Baby, or sorry, that's her, and that's Jagger. She's been really into eyes and faces. Oh, this is all her. Really into spooky things. She loves Halloween, she loves pumpkins. And she started coloring this herself. At first I was like, wow, that's really good. She colored inside lines. The color choice, little sketch. And then one day I saw her coloring on her iPad and I saw this. She's really into eyes and faces, so I'm thinking maybe she's in her eyes era.
So Poppy draws eyes everywhere. She colors everything black except the eyes. She goes to school and given free choice in an art class with paints and Play-Doh and stickers and construction paper, she makes a craft covered in eyeballs. And she brings it home and says, Mommy, look what I did.
I don't know if I should be worried or not. You guys know Poppy likes to color on her iPad, but she really likes to color black. And she will color everything out but the eyes. She will keep the eyes in the photos, but color everything else black. So she got this sticker book, and out of everything out of the sticker book, she only wanted the eyes. I'm creeped out. She was just passed out, and she just ran into my room and said, Mommy, Mommy. What was I talking about?
Eyes.
What?
Eyes.
Eyes?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say what I think about this, and you can disagree with me, and that's completely fine. But I think kids are a lot more perceptive than we give them credit for. And this child has been filmed and watched and looked at by millions of people since before she could talk. And I think on some level, maybe not in a way she could articulate or fully understand, she knows. She knows she is being watched.
What's on here? What are those?
Eyeballs.
Eyeballs? What?
They're always laughing.
They're always what?
Laughing.
Should I be scared of the eyes?
Yeah.
And I think that's worth taking seriously, but Abby left it off. She found it a little creepy in an entertaining way, and then she posted it for more eyes to watch. Anyway, at some point, Josh and Abby tried to figure out what they looked like without the kids front and center. And the answer to that apparently was a podcast. Which, and I say this as someone who's listened to the relevant clips, did not go well. numbers reflected that. Because the episodes that didn't involve their kids were getting a fraction of the views of the ones that did. And the episodes where they talked about the kids, those doubled, sometimes tripled the engagement of everything else. Which tells you something pretty significant about what the audience was actually there for.
Living off of credit cards and
watching our cash burn.
Literally no money in our pockets. We were so broke. So Josh literally got on food stamps, and I was lucky enough to still be on my parents' insurance. If not, I would have been in the same situation.
And I think it's the most revealing thing to come out of the podcast era. Because what it accidentally exposes is the gap between how they present their life and what their life actually looks like. This little slip of honesty, if it's accurate, in the middle of a podcast episode, tells you exactly why TikTok wasn't just a creative outlet for these two. It was a lifeline. There was no plan B. And when there's no plan B, you will do whatever the algorithm asks of you, including things you probably shouldn't. And speaking of doing things you probably shouldn't, there are those areas where the contradiction is so big that it's hard to look away from it. So Abby, on several occasions, has positioned herself as a safety-conscious parent who specifically advises other parents to keep their children's diapers covered when filming. And I genuinely believe that she believes she's doing the right thing when she says those words. But the Reddit communities that follow her content have pointed out pretty thoroughly that there are instances where she has posted her own daughter in positions that contradict exactly that advice. And then there's the sponsored content side of it, which is where it gets really complicated. Because Pampers and Huggies are two of her biggest commercial partners. And in those videos, the children are often the primary visual subject, sometimes in just a diaper, because that's what the brief requires. Because you can't demonstrate leak protection on a child who is fully clothed.
So the great thing about the Target registry, you can add the Pampers bundle, which includes the Pampers swaddlers and then Pampers wipes.
And look, diaper ads have always featured babies in diapers. That's not new or unique to Abby. But the specific tension here is that she's simultaneously the person lecturing about diaper coverage and the person doing sponsored content where the child's diaper is the focal point of the shot. You don't get to do both. You either believe the lecture or you take the brand deal, but not both. And then there's the shopping content, which is a lot.
What is Poot's first car going to be?
So on one side of the content, you have the custom Range Rover. You have the multi-million-dollar Pittsburgh mansion that was designed from the ground up specifically to function as a content studio. You have the luxury brand trips, high-end children's clothing. And on the other side of that same content, she's hauling fast fashion for an audience of young women and new mothers who are looking for affordable options. Abby has an Amazon storefront with curated lists covering essentially every category of her life. And she posts Amazon must-haves content regularly, directing her millions of followers to those lists where she earns an affiliate commission on every purchase. And critics have pointed out fairly, I think, that her page has essentially become a non-stop infomercial, that the personal vlog element, the come watch our life energy that built the audience in the first place, has been almost entirely replaced by shopping content. The life is still the backdrop, but the point is the link in bio.
Here are some things we found on Amazon for our new home. All of my items came from Amazon Inspire. It's really cool. It's on the Amazon shopping app, and you tap the sparkle icon at the bottom of the screen and you start scrolling and you can shop these videos.
And the children are inside it whether they consent to it or not.
Attention parents, do you have a picky child? Poppy has always been super picky when it comes to food, and I felt overwhelmed until I found Stonyfield yogurt. Stonyfield Yo Baby yogurts help nourish your baby with probiotics.
And I just want you to think about what it means to be a child whose face is on a billboard before you're old enough to understand what a billboard is, before you can consent to it, before you have any say in it whatsoever. Also, I want to talk about something that often gets overlooked when people discuss family content creators, and that's what happens to the mother's body after the baby arrives. Because for most people, that's an incredibly private, incredibly vulnerable time. Your body has just done something enormous. You're sleep deprived. You're figuring out a new version of yourself. And the last thing most people want is a camera pointed at them. But not calculated Abby.
It's fun to stay at the
And it's not just after the third baby. This goes all the way back to the first one. And I'm not saying she shouldn't feel good about her body. I'm saying the decision to post it 3 weeks after giving birth is a calculated one, because she knows exactly what that image does to people.
I know I can't afford to stop.
But then running parallel to all of that is the other side, and the vehicle for that consistently is hair loss.
I've never cut my own hair before, ever. It's fun.
And people respond to this because it's relatable, because a lot of mothers have been there, because it feels honest in a way that the bounce back content doesn't. So the comments are full of support and solidarity and Me Too energy, and that's all genuine, I think. But then...
Oh gosh, you're gonna throw up. Let's go get my hair chopped off even more. I just want to eat you.
So she's crying about losing her hair, and she's also being paid by a hair growth supplement company.
Attention new moms on TikTok. Does this look familiar? We can all agree that our bodies go through so much after giving birth, from hormones and stress, and after my second kid, I started experiencing postpartum hair shedding. I didn't realize how common this was, but luckily my friend recommended I start taking Nutrafol Postpartum Hair Growth Supplement. It's developed by OBGYN specifically for women in their first year after giving birth. The best part, it's breastfeeding friendly with over 20 plus vitamin minerals and natural ingredients that help fill in those nutritional gaps post-birth. I seriously can't recommend Nutrafol enough in helping me on my postpartum hair journey.
I'm not saying it's illegal, but it shows exactly how this machine works. The vulnerability is just a warm-up. You cry on camera, get everyone emotionally invested, and then boom, 3 videos later, here's the Nutra promo code. They are literally turning your sympathy into sales. And that's their entire playbook. There's absolutely zero line between their real life and their business. They didn't just sell their own privacy, they turned their kids into a corporate franchise before they could even speak. And they'll keep doing it as long as the internet keeps watching.
What is this?
Ring.
It's the ring?
Yeah.
It starts the way a lot of viral family channels do. Bright smiles, good-looking moments captured on camera, and thumbnails that feel almost too emotional to ignore. So you look at Dallin and Bella YouTube channel, and right away you're hit with titles that sound intense, like something huge just happened, and faces froze in mid-reaction as if every moment is the biggest moment of their lives.
Bella, I think she might walk this trip.
Wait a minute.
Oh my god.
Wait a minute. She did something for the first time.
However, the longer you watch, the more something feels slightly off, like the emotions are turned up just a little higher than normal.
Let's do this first time.
I know, I just haven't
I already
seen
read
this.
all of these.
I haven't seen all of this. This is just so much paperwork.
Give me a hug first, actually. Give me a hug.
This is crazy.
This is crazy. I can't believe we're actually doing this right
Now, the clips themselves look happy on the surface, and the energy is always high and relatable. But the reactions sometimes feel bigger than the situation calls for, and even small moments get stretched into dramatic scenes with music, edits, and camera angles that make everything feel important. I can't hate on them for having a good life and documenting every important moment of their life and posting it for their millions of followers to see, but when every one of those moments feels like a highlight, it slowly stops looking like real life and starts seeming like something being put together for an audience. But what really stands out is how often the camera is there during very personal moments, like emotional talks.
I never imagined you would join our family this way, and I couldn't be more excited.
Serious discussions, or even vulnerable situations that most people would keep private.
It's baby boomer. It's okay.
Unfortunately, instead of those moments feeling natural, they sometimes come across like they were planned, like everyone already knows the camera will be rolling, and Dallin and Bella are about to reveal something. Now, none of this proves anything by itself, and families are free to share their lives how they want. But when every laugh, every tear, and every surprise feels perfectly captured, it raises a question in the background. Are we watching a family live their life, Or are we watching a family shape their life around what works on camera? Specifically speaking, one part of their story starts to stand at the center of everything, and that's their struggle with infertility.
Really, really, really sucks. It really sucks. And I'm just glad that we're sharing our story, because I really do have faith and hope that one day we're gonna get a miracle baby and something's gonna happen and everything is gonna be okay.
Now, instead of keeping that journey private, they chose to share it openly. And that meant bringing viewers into hospital visits, test results, and some very emotional moments that most couples would only talk about with close family.
You're gonna do awesome.
I hate this. I hate this.
Listen, we're gonna go in there. It's gonna be easy. It's kind of crazy.
Give me a kiss, give me a kiss.
Now, for many people watching, this felt real and raw, and it created a strong connection because they weren't just watching content anymore. They were watching something deeply personal unfold in real time. And with that openness came a huge wave of support. And on top of watching, viewers became emotionally invested, leaving comments, sharing their own stories, and rooting for them like they personally knew them. You are so strong and doing such a beautiful thing being open about this for others going through this. You are amazing people and God has a plan for you. You will be in our prayers, and we'll be here supporting you guys throughout your journey. Infertility is so hard. I suffered for years and was eventually blessed with 2 wonderful boys, now wonderful men. Please know that we are all sending prayers, good vibes, positive energy, and everything else that shows support. Love you guys and thank you for your vulnerability and honesty. That kind of connection can grow very fast, especially when people feel like they're part of someone's struggle. And that's exactly what happened here, because the audience didn't just follow the channel, they felt attached to the outcome. Been following you all for about 6 months now. You guys are truly amazing and inspire me, as well as so many. This breaks my heart to watch, but I am praying for you all. I know God has a plan. You and Dallin both are going to be amazing parents someday. However, the way these moments were presented started to raise quiet questions, because emotional updates often came with dramatic thumbnails and titles that hinted at serious news, even before the video started. Unfortunately, when pain is shared in that format over and over again, it can begin to feel structured, like each update is not just about informing people, but also about keeping them engaged. Although that doesn't mean the struggle wasn't real, because infertility is something many people go through, and talking about it can help others feel less alone, but the tension comes from how it's shared, because there's a difference between raising awareness and building a channel around emotional moments that draw attention.
It's so hard to see like Dallin go through this, because I know how bad he wants a baby, and I just feel like a failure.
Now, over time, this part of their story became more than just an update, because it seemed like the core of the channel's growth. And that's where things get complicated, since the more emotional the content, the more people watched, the more they commented, and the more the channel exploded. But when a system where vulnerability brings views and views bring growth, it becomes harder to separate what is being shared to help others and what's being shared because it keeps the audience coming back. And while they were so good at walking this thin line, what remained constant for them was the overwhelming desire to have their own children.
To be pregnant for 4.5 years.
Wait, question. Would you give up every dollar you own to be pregnant?
Yes.
What?
I really think I would.
Every dollar, every asset, in every situation for
Why do I feel like I could cry at this question? Yeah, I really would, because like to me,
wow,
like,
you're an angel. Really?
babe, you're gonna make me cry. All that matters in life is family, and it's like, what do you want?
But because Bella could not biologically conceive at the time, their content began gravitating toward one major turning point in early March 2023, and that's the decision to adopt.
I need to adopt. I really do. Like, I'm gonna cry thinking about it, but
However, this wasn't something they revealed quietly or later on. It was documented step by step, with viewers watching the waiting process, the uncertainty, and the hope that came with it. Now every update felt important, from calls with agencies to small hints that something might finally be happening. And that created a kind of tension where people kept coming back just to see what would happen next while wishing them all the best. I was adopted as a baby, and it makes my heart so happy to see people who want to adopt and care for them to give them the life they deserve. So happy for you guys. In tears watching this video. Can't wait for you two to hold your baby in your arms. But when the moment finally arrived on July 31st, 2023, it wasn't just shared after the fact. It was filmed as it happened. including the exact moment they met their first adopted child, Storybell, for the first time.
Oh my God. You're my only reason. Know the doctor's gonna tell me your heart's beating. A mother knows her instincts better than her breathing.
This is where things started to feel very different, because this wasn't just a life update anymore. It was one of the most personal and emotional experiences a family can have, captured on camera and presented to an audience almost immediately. Now, for many viewers, this felt powerful, and you could see why, because it gave their audience the feeling that they were part of something real, something life-changing. I've only seen this now. I'm crying with joy for you, so special to watch. Love from Ireland. While that kind of storytelling can bring awareness to adoption and help others understand the process better, it also raises concerns about how much should actually be shared.
Her little noises.
For this reason, people started pointing out that the child at the center of all this had no say in being filmed during such a huge moment. Unfortunately, adoption is already a complex and emotional experience, and adding a camera into those first interactions made some viewers uncomfortable, especially knowing that those videos would stay online permanently. I need to be honest here, I don't watch them. But didn't they say they weren't going to show their kid on social media? And they called their baby Story. Really? Also, yeah, I guess it's a good thing the baby's in a financially stable family who probably loves her, but really? Why exploit your kid from the second you got her? Can't stand them. The baby's just a prop to them. Now, the emotional pull of those videos is strong, and that's what makes them so effective, because viewers feel like they were there, like they witnessed something deeply personal. Despite this, what feels like sharing can slowly turn into something else when the most private moments are also the most public, and it only got worse from there for Story, because you would expect things to slow down even just for a little while so the family can adjust in private. Unfortunately for her, almost every part of her life was now part of Dallin and Bella's YouTube channel and their millions of viewers.
We have a 3-hour drive down to the airport. We have a hotel down there. We're gonna spend the night, and then we're getting on Story's first plane ride tomorrow.
I'm so excited. The first of many.
First of many plane rides.
Starts.
This continued with each update to the point where the baby started showing up in thumbnails, titles, and daily uploads as if they've always been part of the content. But what makes it stand out is how fast everything happens, because there's barely any visible transition period between bringing the child home and presenting them to a large online audience. Nevertheless, for viewers who followed the journey, it might feel like a natural continuation, like they've been waiting for this moment too. On the other hand, for people watching from the outside, it feels sudden, almost like a deeply personal moment was turned into content before it had time to settle. Now the thumbnails begin to reflect that shift clearly, with the baby often placed front and center, paired with emotional captions that draw attention and pull people in. But while that kind of storytelling keeps the audience engaged, it also raises questions about what's being prioritized in those early days. Because instead of quiet bonding, rest, and adjustment, everything is still being filmed, edited, and uploaded on schedule. And that's where the audience reaction begins to split more clearly than before. However, some people defend it strongly, saying the couple is simply sharing their happiness after a long and difficult journey, something that gives them hope. As someone who is struggling with infertility, you guys give me so much hope. So happy for you guys, and Story is so lucky to have parents like you. Despite this, others feel uncomfortable with how quickly the child becomes part of a system that relies on views, likes, and engagement, especially when the child has no say in being shown online. They disgust me. They're using their baby for likes online. It's so gross. I dislike everything about this couple and feel so terrible for that poor little baby. While I feel bad for their journey, I find it so disgusting to exploit their daughter so much. It would have been much more awe-inspiring if they went through all that and then kept their daughter out of the public eye. It's just so disgusting to have a camera in your child's face 24/7, mostly one where the entire internet knows her entire journey. Ugh. Despite this backlash, the channel doesn't slow down. And over time, the child isn't just appearing in content, they're becoming part of what the channel is built around moving forward.
Story. Woo! We're going to New York to get my painting. We are going to New York. We're getting a custom painting made. Story's first ever international trip, and I'm so excited to use her little passport. It's gonna be so fun. Are you excited?
This leads to a bigger question that doesn't have an easy answer. Because sharing family life online is not new, and many creators include their children in their content. Fortunately, some manage to set boundaries and keep certain moments private. But here the line feels less clear, especially in those first days after adoption where everything is still new and sensitive. And when you step back and look at it as a whole, the discomfort doesn't come from one single video. It comes from how quickly the child slowly becomes part of the family's story. They're introduced into the content world at the exact same time they're adjusting to a new life. Yet it gets worse because not long after bringing home their second adopted child, Rennie, in December 2025,
This is your sister. That's your sister. Oh, that's so nice.
the way they handle it changes how people start looking at everything. Because instead of slowing down to focus fully on settling in as a family, Dallin and Bella traveled to Dubai on January 9th, 2026 to attend the 1 Billion Followers Summit hosted by Mr. Beast. Now, this event was tied to someone and came with massive exposure, networking, and content opportunities that most creators rarely get. But the timing is what made people pause, because this trip happened very soon after adopting their second child. And for many viewers, that felt too fast. And people began questioning whether this was the right moment to step away, especially during a time when a child is still adjusting to a completely new environment. That early period is usually about building trust, routine, and comfort. So leaving during that window raised eyebrows. Now supporters stepped in quickly, and you could understand their reasoning. Because opportunities like this don't come often, especially when they involve global creators and events. And from that angle, the trip could be seen as something that benefits the whole family long term, since growing the channel means more income and stability. But even with that defense, the criticism was harsh, as some people mocked them for leaving their kids at such a vulnerable moment. I think it's really important that we try to build a secure attachment with this newborn adopted infant, because the first thing that she ever experienced was being removed from her mother. Wait, never mind, babe. I just got an email from Mr. Beast. We're going to Dubai. Sorry, kids, mommy and daddy don't have any time to spend with you this week, but don't worry. We'll post videos of you on the internet and sell ads to our followers. So glad you called this out. I commented similar feelings on their page. Actually surprised with how many agreed with me. Why am I not surprised? And I mean, the baby already will have attachment issues, so why not more? With this backlash coming, it starts to feel like part of a pattern, where big opportunities and content moments appear to take center stage. Now, this doesn't automatically mean Dallin and Bella are wrong, but it does make people question how those decisions are being balanced behind the scenes. Now, once that feeling of doubt starts to build, it carries over into everything that comes after, because viewers begin to look more closely at future choices, trying to figure out what really comes first. And it wasn't long before they saw how much the couple prioritized engaging content over everything else, even when it came to general safety.
You're so big!
Whoa, this is so cool. You probably can see the fish in the water.
Yeah, you definitely can. Dory, what do you think?
Whoa!
Now, a toddler surfacing without a life jacket immediately raised some red flags. But it didn't stop there, because in another clip, a child is seen riding a horse.
I mean, just another recent example, they posted on Instagram their eldest riding a horse. No helmet, no shoes, she wasn't strapped onto the horse. Again, they are putting their child in these potentially dangerous situations.
Yet what makes it even worse was that these moments were presented as nothing dangerous or serious, and shown in a casual, almost playful way, like part of the normal flow of family content. And that tone is what made some viewers uncomfortable, because the risks didn't seem to be acknowledged at all. The 3-year-old with no life jacket or helmet really solidified my dislike of these parents. Zero safety concerns for their children. When my girls were younger, I wouldn't let them on a dock on the lake without a life jacket on. They weren't even in the water. That is so dangerous to not have a life jacket on a child in the ocean. Those currents and undertows are so unpredictable and strong. When content like this is shared with a large audience, it sends a message, especially to younger viewers or other parents who might copy what they see. So when safety steps like life jackets or helmets are missing, it can make risky behavior look normal, even if that wasn't the intention. Unfortunately, that's where the line between fun content and responsible content starts to blur, and this is where a pattern begins to form. Not just from one or two clips, but from how often these kinds of moments appear without much caution being shown. These incidents create the feeling that exciting or eye-catching scenes might be getting prioritized, especially when they perform well and attract attention. What also adds to the concern is how casual everything feels in the videos, because there's no pause, no explanation, and no visible safety adjustments after the fact. Fortunately, some viewers simply enjoy the content and trust the parents to know what they're doing, but others keep pointing out that visibility comes with responsibility, especially when children are involved. It makes me nervous just thinking about the situation they put her in. Have you seen ones where they let her jump off cliffs and high diving boards, then say she's somehow unique or special for doing it? No, the shocking thing is you letting her. Most toddlers would jump out a 5-story window or jump off a cliff if they could because they don't understand danger yet. It's actually happened. Shame on you for letting her and risking her little body be harmed by hitting water from that height. So frustrating to me. But could it get worse than this? Another moment that really got people talking started with a simple clip where toddlers seen wearing a bikini during a beach scene, something that might seem normal in real life.
Hey, eat your burger really quick. Story!
Okay, jump on the mountain.
Okay.
Jump on it. Jump! Oh, you gave it a hug?
After these videos, one commenter said, "I just want to say, I super appreciate you guys blurring out bits where Story's swim costume shifts while playing. Protecting your kids comes first." But that edit is exactly what split the audience, because while some viewers praised the couple for taking that extra step, others felt like it raised more questions than it answered. See, the supporters focused on the idea that the blurring showed awareness, like they understood the risks of putting certain images online and tried to protect the child in some way. And from their perspective, it looked responsible, or at least an attempt at being careful. But on the other side, critics didn't see it that way at all, and their argument was simple but hard to ignore. If you already know something needs to be blurred for safety, then why post it in the first place?
I see Story and Daddy right there. We're scooping. Come here.
Oh, this one.
And that's where the deeper issue starts to show, because the blur almost acts like a signal that there's a risk involved. But instead of removing the risk entirely by not posting, the content is still shared, just slightly adjusted. For some viewers, that feels like a contradiction, where awareness is there, but the action doesn't fully match it. Nevertheless, this isn't a simple right or wrong situation, because different people have different comfort levels when it comes to sharing family content online. And some fans genuinely believe the couple is trying to balance openness with safety, and they see the blur as proof of that effort. But even then, the conversation doesn't really settle, because the concern goes beyond just one clip, again making the audience wonder what is really being prioritized when it comes to the safety of the kids or selling out content, especially when it involves young children who can't control how they're shown online. Yet as Dallin and Bella's channel grows bigger, something else starts growing quietly in the background, and this part is a lot harder to see at first. If you look closer, you start noticing fan accounts being created, not for the parents, but for their eldest daughter on TikTok, with pages dedicated to clips, edits, and moments taken from the main videos. But that's where things begin to feel a little strange, because these thousands of followers are strangers online who are following the kids closely, posting about them, and sometimes acting like they personally know them. Well, this kind of behavior is common in influencer culture, where audiences build emotional connections over time, especially when they watch someone else's life regularly. It's still a bit disturbing that these fan accounts are for a toddler. Now, the comments under these posts add another layer to this situation, because people start talking about the children in ways that sound more like they're talking about celebrities than regular kids. Some of these comments are harmless, like saying a child is cute or brave, but others go deeper, showing a level of emotional attachment that feels unusually strong for someone they've never met. When that connection is directed towards adults, it's one thing, but when it's focused on children, especially very young ones, it becomes more complicated, because kids don't understand this kind of attention. and they can't control how they're being perceived or discussed online. Now, this isn't just a random concern people made up, because there have been real investigations into child influencers and how they're viewed online. Nevertheless, reports from major outlets like the New York Times have highlighted risks around children being heavily featured on social media, including the presence of inappropriate engagement and people who follow for the wrong reasons. That's what makes this issue feel more serious than just fans being fans. Because once content is out there, it's not just seen by supportive viewers, it's seen by everyone, including people whose intentions aren't always clear, thereby creating a situation where strangers can become deeply invested in their lives without any real boundaries. Now, one might argue that this is just part of being online, and that any public content will attract attention, whether it's kids or adults, and that's partly true because the internet doesn't separate audiences neatly. But at the same time, when children are regularly featured, it naturally encourages more focus on them, which increases the level of attention they receive. And over time, that attention doesn't just stay as comments or likes, it turns into something bigger, where people feel like they're part of the child's life and decide to go meet them in public even though they're complete strangers. While not all interactions might be harmful, when content invites people into very personal family moments, especially involving kids, it can unintentionally encourage deeper interaction than expected. And once that door is open, it's very hard to control who walks through it. And that's why this part of the story stands out so much, because it shifts the focus away from the creators and onto the audience itself. But if you thought this was the end of the controversy, another pattern starts to stand out, and this one is about movement. For Dallin and Bella's young developing kids, instead of a steady home life, there are constant trips, flights, and new locations, with the family moving from place to place for vacations, events, and brand deals. Now on camera, it looks exciting.
Can you do it?
Because every video shows something new, different scenery, new activities, and big experiences that most kids don't get every day.
Story, it's Daddy. It's Daddy.
Hi, Story.
But when you look at it over time, it starts to feel less like occasional travel and more like a lifestyle built around always being on the move. And because the children are part of that movement, going wherever the content goes, whether it's a beach, a city, or a sponsored event, for some viewers that feels like a dream life, full of adventure and opportunities that many families can't afford. Now, supporters often defend this strongly, saying the kids are getting to see the world, try new things, and live a life filled with memories. However, others are quite open in criticizing the dangers of a child lacking stability at a young age of development. I don't think S speaks because of all the travel. Every time they do a trip, I'm not seeing the normal sensory toys that you would see for a child her age. She's not learning because she doesn't get that stimulating play with her parents. Plus, adoption trauma can possibly push milestones back for a while. If anything, she needs to be practicing alphabet sounds and reading books more than you'd think since she's behind. I'd be more worried about her radiation exposure with so many international flights at such a young age. Speaking of these trips the kid won't remember at all. Why do they never put a life jacket, especially on a child? Every boat, every country. Normally, children usually benefit from routine, from knowing where they'll sleep, where they'll go to school, and having a consistent environment that feels familiar. Unfortunately, when life is constantly shifting, it can be harder to build that sense of stability. And this becomes even more important when you remember that the children joined the family through adoption, which already comes with big changes and emotional adjustments. Adding frequent travel on top of that can make it harder to settle into a new normal, making some viewers see it as a lack of grounding instead of fun trips. Now, this doesn't mean travel is bad, and many families balance trips with stable home routines, making it possible to give kids both experiences and structure at the same time. But in this case, it feels like the balance might be leaning too far toward constant movement, especially when those trips are tied to content creation and online growth. Now, whether or not Dallin and Bella are using their kids to drive engagement, or they're simply making content for their millions of viewers for educational purposes only, they seem to understand how to walk a thin line that blurs genuine content and kids-based clickbait meant to drive full engagement. In any case, if you found this video helpful, or if you think there's so much more to Dallin and Bella than what meets the eye, share your thoughts in the comments section. And if you want more deep dives like this, make sure to subscribe and check out the other videos on the channel. Have you heard of that mom who buys about 32 pizzas a week?
Have y'all seen that woman that bought 32 pizzas for her children?
Well, if you haven't, here's everything about Pizza Mom. It's now become a trend for parents online to basically flex on the internet about their awful junk food purchases, to a point that people often forget what's normal and real. These parents are out of touch with reality, as they buy enough food to feed a family of 4 for just 2 kids. There are several parents out there promoting foods that contain Red 40 as an ingredient to survive online at the cost of their children's health. For those who don't know what Red 40 is, it's a synthetic dye made from petroleum. Although it's approved in several countries, it's not considered quite safe in general. In this video, we're going to focus on one mom, Pizza Mom, aka Boy Mom X3. A mom who happily feeds her 3 children junk food that most of us try to avoid. She's on the internet making videos on how to ruin your health 101. Maybe she's trying her best to provide for her family, but is that the case? Well, here's the breakdown of it. The internet is like a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's moms giving their kids absolute filth of a food to have all week. On one end, it's moms giving their kids absolute filth of food to have all week. And on the other end, it's trad moms making sugar from scratch. The first one would probably make you feel like you're probably caging your child too much from indulging in junk, while the other one would most likely make you feel like you're not enough. Either way, that's pretty much what this video is going to talk about. Many moms who feed their children junk food are not as confrontational as Pizza Mom. Unlike others on the internet, she somehow gets defensive when people call her out for her laziness. She barely has any self-control. All she does is lazy cooking for her children, who really need healthy food at this age. It's fair she's a working mom, she's 37, and she has 3 kids to take care of, and cutting herself some slack on some days is completely valid. However, this woman right here constantly feeds her children junk food, and that's basically her content online. She gets millions of views on her videos, and with thousands of followers, she's basically making a living off it. However, there's a reason most people are like this online. Either they really like the attention they're getting on the internet, or maybe they're just showing their real self, simply for what it is. We'll have to dive into this iceberg to understand why she is the way she is on the internet. This iceberg has several tiers that'll be discussed in this video. We're going to break down this to analyze her routine, shopping hauls, her opinion on feeding her children healthy food daily, and more.
Grocery haul as a 37-year-old full-time working mom of 3 boys who also moved her parents in with her. So we have groceries today from 3 different places. We got groceries from Sam's, Walmart, 4 places. Sam's, Walmart, Food Lion, and Piggly Wiggly. And I will tell you the totals for each at the end and then a grand total. So we got 2 containers of the 2-bite brownies. We got 1 big thing of Cinnamon Toast Crunch because we still had some left over from last trip. We got a big box of the oatmeal cream pies. We got some tea. We got some cereal bars.
Laken Huffman, also known as 32 Pizza Mom or Boy Mom X3, is a 37-year-old from South Carolina. She started her page to share her daily life and later moved into promoting affiliate items and shopping hauls. Laken has 3 sons, Bryson, Braden, and Brantley, and they all live with her parents. According to one of her videos, her children have different fathers who are no longer involved in their lives. She uploaded a video with her youngest son, Brantley, where he tells viewers in a humorous way that his dad walked away from him. This makes it seem like she may be projecting her coping mechanism onto her children as well. Is this a healthy way to raise fatherless children, or is it toxic?
So everyone's been wanting this question answered. I've been holding off because I don't really like to discuss it, but you know what? My kids have no shame and they tell it like it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all hear from them.
First, Holland said he went to the milk aisle, and then second thing, can talk this time, he got stuck in the infinite holes of the universe milk aisle. Yeah, and yeah, he hasn't. It's called a universe. It's called a universe milk aisle, by the way. Yeah, and he hasn't gotten out yet.
He never returned.
No, not even once. He's been there for like when I was 1. Yeah, he's been there ever since I was -1. He's been there.
So this is in fact a very true story, or this is their story. This is what they tell people, like no lie. So y'all remember I just went to a family reunion. What was it, last weekend? So not that family reunion, but the one that we went to 2 years ago. A little old lady came up to us and said, "Hey boys, where's your dad at?" And I'm not even kidding y'all. That was their answer. He went down the milk aisle and he never come back. my face. I could not believe it. And she just was like, oh, no, honey, I'm sure he's coming back. No. They said, nope, he's not.
Yeah.
So that's the story.
I mean, he was there. He's not coming out. He was there when I was like -999.
Okay. So yeah, there you have it. That's the story. Yep.
Her video features herself, her 3 sons, and her parents in the background. For those wondering why she's living with her parents, here's the backstory. Her parents actually sold their house to move in with her and support her financially, which isn't something many families would do these days. At one point, she was struggling to pay her bills and take care of her children, and that's when her parents stepped in. According to her, the situation is still temporary and somewhat uncertain. There's talk of possibly expanding the house so everyone can have their own space again, or maybe exploring other options down the line. For now, though, she insists that it's working well. The kids were apparently happy to give up their room for their grandparents.
Okay, so yeah, I'm happy to explain. So about 1.5 years ago, my parents moved in with me. To be quite honest, I was struggling financially. I'm a single mom, 3 boys, and it's just hard to survive. And so they sold their house and they moved in with me. We split the bills half and half, and it just makes sense for us right now. Is it a forever situation? I don't know. They may end up just adding on to my house so that they have their own room, and that way Braden and Brantley can have their own room back. Or they may end up, doing something else. I don't really know. It's kind of up in the air right now. But right now, Braden and Brantley, they're only 7 and 9, and honestly, they were so happy to have Nana and Papa move in with them that they were quick to give their room up temporarily so that could happen. It just made sense for us, and it works out really good. I've always lived really close to my parents, even before they sold their house. I live next to all my family. So, yeah, it just makes sense. We've always been really super close, and we just figured, why not? So we're making it work, and it also is really beneficial because my kids, since I do work full time, it's easier for them to just be right here while I'm at work. Yeah, surprisingly, this has actually been such an easy adjustment for us all.
Well, so far you've seen her just being a mom who buys junk food and splurges on unhealthy items. But how did she get the name Pizza Mom? Lakin buys dozens of pizzas every weekend. Her list doesn't stop at just a dozen pizzas. It also includes liters of soda. You must have seen her buy 12 Dr. Peppers in the previous video, pounds of sugar, and more. During this time on her account, all she seemed to receive were positive reviews and supportive comments. People praised her for being a good mother, caring for her children, and feeding them on time. Keep in mind that her children allegedly have some food aversions, so she says she takes that into account and feeds them accordingly. However, in one of her videos, she fed her youngest child a plate of bacon. Yup, just bacon. And that's a straight-up diabolical choice of dinner to serve. This makes one wonder why people are actually defending her. There are, however, some claims that the children are in fact healthy, and she's simply too lazy to cook them a proper meal, which as a matter of fact doesn't sound like a far stretch to me. Children can often be picky eaters, and at that age, if parents keep serving them junk every day, they'd simply accept the food with no complaints. Because have we ever seen a child cry about dino nuggets and soda for dinner? As we dig deeper, we learn that she never actually mentioned her children's food aversions at first. She only began to notice them after seeing comments suggesting that her children might have ARFID. For those who don't know, ARFID stands for Avoidant or Restrictive Food Intake Disorder. It's an eating disorder where a person avoids or restricts certain foods. Unlike other eating disorders, it's not about body image or wanting to lose weight. They may have very limited types of food, like she claims her children to be, avoid foods because of texture, smell, or taste, fear choking or vomiting, or generally have little interest in eating. They may have a very limited range of foods, like she claims her children do. They might avoid foods because of texture, smell, or taste, fear choking or vomiting, or simply have little interest in eating.
What I don't understand is that I know for a fact that you, new Snack Alert, are not new here. You know that my kids don't eat vegetables. Now, 2 of my kids don't eat vegetables. Brantley will eat green beans. That's about the extent of it, and that's very few and far between. It does not happen very often. Braden, you ain't getting a vegetable in him unless you sneak it in, which I have tried. I have done so many times. Maybe eventually I will be able to get it to work with some pizza, but until then, you're just going to have to get over it. They ain't getting no vegetables on the side. What's the point of wasting that? I'm not wasting time, money, energy, veggies, none of it, just for them to not eat it. I have tried it so many times. If you think I haven't, I don't know what to tell you. You just have to keep thinking it, but they ain't eating no vegetables. They don't like them. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I have tried. They will literally gag. Gag. Okay? Brayden especially. It ain't happening. I don't know what to tell you.
Food aversion is a real thing. However, simply not liking certain foods isn't enough to categorize her children as having a food aversion. Moreover, as their mother, she's responsible for their diet. To be clear, her children weren't born with these eating habits. They've likely developed over time based on the routine she created. She claims her children are picky. However, if you look closer, her children seem to accept everything. Enchiladas are acceptable, and so are chicken quesadillas. In fact, several meals containing chicken appear to be perfectly fine. If the child is willing to eat real meals that include chicken, tortilla, and other homemade ingredients, why does dinner so often end up being frozen pizza every single night? This is not precisely a criticism because every house has its own rhythm to work things their way. But the default frozen pizza contradicts her claims, which makes us assume that the reality is probably not all she says it is online. While we're at it, let's also briefly look at the food choices she makes outside the house. In a nutshell, they're not that different. She often records herself stopping at various fast food places and quickly eating in her car, as if she's a bit too impatient to eat inside. There's yet another perspective to this. Some commenters think people are simply just being critical because she isn't slim. It's a social media lingo to equate anyone who's of a healthy size and having pizza and bash them in the comments section. From what we see, it's just a video, meaning they could potentially be having other meals off screen. Some viewers conclude that the hate directed towards Laken Huffman, aka Pizza Mom, is because of innate social media fat phobia. Well, we can't simply just draw the line there though, because there's more to it. Pizza Mom goes shopping once a week, and she claims her weekly shopping will actually last in her pantry for weeks. Well, it probably does, but if you watch this video of one of her hauls, you'd barely see any healthy food in her haul. A 10-pound sugar pack, cereals, cookies, Capri Suns, and much more such food. Imagine just 10% of their total shopping is actually healthy, and the rest of it is just filth. Well, not trying to be critical about one's diet, but I'm only putting out what I see. Let's now go back in time to see one of her very first grocery haul uploads and see if this is her pattern or if it's only changed over time.
All right, we got a grocery haul as a 37-year-old full-time working mama with 3 boys who also moved her parents in with her. It's going to be a big one today, or at least I think so. So we got 10 of these Dr. Peppers, 8 distilled waters. We got some chocolate milk, 10-pound bag of sugar, vegetable oil. We got 2 3-packs of the mac and cheese. We got 2 of these because Bryson requested these, and honestly, him and Brayden and Brantley both, or all 3, love these. We got 2 big bags of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Brantley, you know, he eats cereal every day. 2 bags of the Tostitos. We got 4 boxes of the shells noodles. We got 2 boxes of the bow tie noodles. Got a 2-pack of the 4 sticks of butter. A thing of pepperonis. Brayden's gotta have pepperonis for his pizzas. I'm only seeing 1 of these bags of fries, but I'm pretty sure I bought 2 or 3, so I'm gonna have to go check my car. Unless they were out of stock and I didn't realize it. We got 3 of these Monterey Jack cheese, and then we got 3 blocks of the mild cheddar cheese. We go through a lot of cheese around here. A big party size of Chips Ahoy cookies, party size of Oreo cookies, and the family size of the chewy, soft Chips Ahoy cookies. And then we got 8 of these packs of electrolyte water flavor packets. And then we got this big thing of toilet paper. There's a lot of us here. And then I got 4 Cokes. I got a 2-pack of New York strips and a 3-pack of sirloins. Tried to get 2-pack of ribeyes too, but they were out. Then I got some Dell seasoning, and we got all of this for $292.64. Hopefully this will last us a couple weeks, give or take a few things like milk and stuff like that we might run out of. But bananas. Oh, I forgot to get Bryson. I forgot to get him some bananas, so I'm gonna have to go back and get some ribeyes and some bananas tomorrow.
Except for meat and cheese, I saw nothing healthy in there. No fruit, no veggies. It was all sugar, dye, sugar again. And did I forget to mention sugar? She also got instant mac and cheese. Well, she could have simply made it from scratch because it's not that hard to make. Besides the fact that she works and it could be hard for her to manage all the cooking and cleaning, she's not a single mother. And if she wanted to, she could actually pull her strings together and give her kids a decent meal. If she really wanted to, she could organize things and provide her kids with a decent meal. Is this my only thought? Probably not. Because look at how her comment section is under this video. From her videos, we can also see how many 10-pound sugar bags she buys often. Coffee, the massive amounts of Kool-Aid kits, and other drinks each require at least 1 spoon of sugar per glass. With about 6 people living in her house, that adds up quickly. Definitely a lot of sugar. The amount of sugar and food dye is actually driving me nuts, because this is probably something one would potentially consume in a year, not a month, and definitely not less than a month. This is yet another grocery haul just 3 days after her previous upload. Maybe the comments got to her, because in this one, you'd be able to spot a few fruits. Those were some things about her. But what about her oldest son, Bryson? Unlike her, he seems to take on a more mature role in the family. From fixing and renovating things around the house, driving his family around, to making his own meals, he appears to do it all. Taking on such responsibility at just 14 years old could be challenging, but he manages it nonetheless.
This is what my 14-year-old son Bryson got me from Mother's Day. And he's fixing my porch all by himself. I am so proud of him and feeling so blessed.
Said I couldn't have got you nothing simple, like a grocery gift card or nothing. I said, buy a porch. Bad, Ma. Watch this.
You chose this life. You did. You literally came up with this idea by yourself.
Now let's take a look at some of her initial uploads of supper time videos where she hasn't mentioned anything about the food aversions, unlike her recent uploads, which tells us something. Something like how she actually started picking up on what her viewers tell her in her comments. So after all, did all the hate comments get to her? It definitely did, and this is how she reacted to it.
I don't know. Let me go see. Is this it? Or maybe that. I'm not sure. Any of that? Real? Maybe something in here. I'm not sure. Is anything real in there? Anything? More chicken nuggets? Ice cream? What's all in there? Got some hot dogs? The light doesn't work in there.
No.
Oh, let's see. Maybe in this one. Yeah. Not a lot of stuff in there. Oh, there's some meat. Some meat back there. Do you see it? Do you see it back there? Is that real? Oh, we got some bacon. We got some bacon. Is that real? Pepperonis. I don't know. I guess if that's not real, or the stuff that was in that other video wasn't real food, then I guess we left it at the store. I don't know. Must all be still at the store.
What we just saw was an obscene amount of food, and yet no fruits or vegetables in sight. The essence of real food and fiber is definitely not there. There's meat, chicken, and bacon, but otherwise you can't be telling one that that's an ideal meal. Because what she showed was still pretty much a lot of processed foods. The comment section seems to be on the same page as you and I are at the moment. In this particular video, she says she bought 30 pizzas for Brayden alone because that's all he eats. In reference, she bought so many pizza boxes like 17 days ago, which was the previous haul you just watched. 12 Dr. Peppers and a few tomatoes. I mean, she's definitely keeping Dr. Pepper in business.
So we got 12 Dr. Peppers. We got some bananas. We got some tomatoes. My mom got me an Alani. Okay, I guess it's hers. However, I think this is messed up because I wanted one. Okay, we got 4, looks like 4 of these. My mom picked up these groceries tonight, by the way. So we got 4 of this style or pack of pork chops. Then we got 2 more packs of pork chops over here, smaller packs. We're gonna be eating some pork chops. Real food. Then we got 2 big packs of hamburger meat. What's my mama gonna make with this? What you gonna make with this? And we got 30 pizzas. I cannot hold all 30, but we did get 30 of these for Brayden because this is all he eats, literally. And I think that is it. We got all of this tonight for $115.02.
One of her viewers said this, to which she replied, "Did you even watch this video? Unfortunately, we did. And that's probably why the question struck our minds. A few tomatoes, 6 bananas for a family of 6? We're definitely pulling those strings tighter on veggies and fruits, aren't we?" Her way of justifying this slop she's buying every time she goes shopping doesn't just stop here. Later in the video, you'll see her justifying why she buys a lot of processed and frozen foods. She's already made it clear that her sons have food aversions, but she also elaborates on it further, just like how she serves Brayden pizza for breakfast in this video.
As soon as Brantley's feet hit the floor, he's ready to eat. Screaming for that cereal. Brayden, however, normally does not eat first thing. But this morning I did ask him if he wanted to go ahead and eat that last slice of pizza from last night. And thankfully he said yes. Because we got to get this day started so I can get myself to town. Yesterday we had someone bring us lunch at work. They brought us pizza. And there was like 6 slices left over. So you can believe I brought it home to my boys. I mean, the rest of the girls just left it on the lunch table open. And today's a holiday, so we won't be back until tomorrow. So that pizza would have sat there and been no good. Anyway, so I decided to bring it home to my kids because I already knew they would destroy it. I'm actually so glad that they got up early this morning. Unfortunately, Brantley wasn't feeling good, so I'm trying to debate whether he needs to go to the doctor or not. I was actually thinking he did need to go because last night his stomach was hurting, and usually with strep throat your stomach can hurt too. So I was actually thinking it may have been that, but now I'm kind of leaning towards it might just be a summer cold. You know how your throat's scratchy and kind of sore in the morning? He's got a little bit of a cough, stuffy nose, and strep throat doesn't usually come with all those symptoms. So I think we're going to take our chances and give it another day or so. If he's still feeling bad tomorrow, then we might go ahead and head on to the doctor. Brantley is absolutely something else. Cereal is his favorite, and that's what he asked for this morning. So as I said, I did give Brayden the last slice of pizza. Well, as soon as Brantley seen this pizza, he was throwing a whole fit thinking he had to have some of that pizza too. I'm like, son, you have a whole bowl of cereal that you asked for. You are not about to make Brayden split a piece of pizza just because you're in your feelings and you think you got to have some too.
Let's just think about what she said earlier about her son's food aversion. Technically, she's the one in control of the food, but it's weird how she claims they can't eat anything for the most part except for the processed slop. Does this add up or does it not? Because the boy wouldn't eat anything except for what his mother would serve him, especially at that age. Also, if you notice, it was never some other kind of food like bananas, meat, or avocado. The addictions have always been something high in calories and artificial preservatives, like the general frozen foods at the supermarkets. So did she just get her sons used to this routine because of her laziness? Or is there something more? So far, we've seen her buy outrageous amounts of processed slop. However, in this video, you'll actually see a change. Let's see how the internet helped Pizza Mom. This is for people who would wonder why people criticize online. It's human psychology that the negative comments generally get to you first. Well, sometimes it turns out good like this. It could be toxic otherwise.
Grocery haul is a 37-year-old full-time working mom of 3 boys who also moved her parents in with her. So we got groceries from Walmart and Food Lion today. At Food Lion, we got some croutons. We got some Olive Garden Italian dressing, some Dale seasoning. We got some Chips Ahoy chewy cookies. We got 2 cucumbers. We got some zucchini. And we got some bell peppers. We got the red, orange, and yellow. We got some bananas. We got lots of Kool-Aid packets. We got some cherries. I'm excited about these. I've been waiting for them to go on sale. Got a head of lettuce. Got some cotton candy grapes. We got some more New York strips because they were on sale, and I was so excited about the sale. So we got four 2-packs of these.
All of a sudden, it's all bell peppers, grapes, a head of lettuce, zucchini, and more. Seems like the comments did get to her after all. Well, congratulations. Pizza Mom 32 discovers fruits and vegetables for once. I'm not trying to add things to this list, but all those shopping trips and no one seems to bother the smoke detector. It's been going off since several videos now. If you haven't noticed, just watch the previous TikToks in this video and you know what it's about. Well, if she completely changed from this upload onwards, we would have cut our video short and the video would have ended here. I mean, why would I keep beating on a dead snake? But that isn't the case here, because this was her next upload, her next shopping haul. Well, you watch the video before I say a word.
Grocery haul as a 37-year-old full-time working mom of 3 boys who also moved her parents in with her. I look crazy. Sorry. It's just what it is today. So we got a gallon of milk. We got some Hormel chili with no beans. We got some Bush's baked beans. We got a thing of salt. We got 2 3-packs of the Kraft Deluxe mac and cheese. Got some zebra cakes.
A zebra right now?
Wait, some zebra cakes. They act like they ain't never seen these. I'm sure y'all have.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, we'll if Nana don't care.
What do you think about
Swiss rolls. I'm surprised they don't love those. I used to love those when I was younger. 3 boxes of oatmeal cream pies. We got some fudge rounds. These babies about to be sick. Some honey buns. Apparently Braden's excited about that.
Yeah, I am too, trust me.
Some Hershey bars. My kids call them.
Entirely.
And here we go again. Not a veggie in sight. Pounds of sugar, a jar of mayo, and boxes of Swiss rolls. We lost again, guys. Internet 0, Pizza Mom 1. It makes me wonder where all the sugar and jars of mayo go. Could this potentially be a generational or trauma issue? Because some people who have food-related traumatic issues in the past tend to overbuy on certain stuff, which hits like dopamine for them. I don't find any other reason for her to be over-consuming any of these. But anyway, let's just continue watching what more she does. We've seen a lot of hauls so far, and not enough of veggie hauls yet. But let's see how far of a stretch this is. If anyone says at least the kids are fed, I'll personally have a dual fare and square with you because that doesn't cut it. I'm not some internet weeb overanalyzing someone else's life. I'm just pointing out what I see. Honestly, it's a no-brainer. This one is yet another popular upload on our page, where you'll see her run out of breath just from counting those pizza boxes.
And I got a bunch of these pizzas that Braden eats. I actually need to count how many I have. The tower of pizzas. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30 pizzas. Oh my God.
If people ask about the veggies, she goes off on them and gets super defensive, but doesn't really work on bringing herself together.
A veggie? Oh, no. No veggies. What even is a veggie? Absolutely not. We do not believe in veggies. Those are disgusting and they will make us sick. In fact, I don't even think my family knows what a veggie is. You know what? Let's go find out because I don't think they do. I'm almost certain they have no idea what a veggie is because we've never bought any. In fact, we have never bought any. We've never ate any. No, it's against the rules in this house. Let me go see.
First time I made tea in a long time.
What's a veggie?
I don't know. I have no idea.
What's a veggie?
I have no idea.
Hey, Brantley, what's a veggie?
I don't know.
Hey, Braden, what's a veggie?
I don't know.
Hey, Bryce, what is a veggie?
I don't know.
Well, I think that cleared it up. We don't believe in veggies. We don't even know what they are.
As we saw that video, her fridge was wide open, and guess what? There wasn't a veggie in sight. I mean, that should tell us something. Her lack of control doesn't only show in their grocery hauls and shopping, but also while serving dinner. As a family of 6, they barely sit together and eat, and her sons are so glued to their monitors that they barely even look at their mom to thank her for the meal. But we never know how people work around in their household, so I'm not getting too much into it.
I did not. Oh my God, I beat you. No, stupid.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I said I'm asking you what you want to eat. Honey. I mean, honestly, you don't want it. Okay. Why is she jumping like that? Do you want me to cook enough?
I'll figure it out.
So you don't want me to make enough? No. Okay. That was yummy? Okay. Is your belly full?
Yes.
Okay. Brayden, turn it back. Pull it back, Brayden. Yeah, let's get it. Oh my gosh, enjoy. Enjoy. Brayden.
Okay, Mom.
Hi. Hey, Brittany.
This is another example of their supper time and of how dysfunctional they seem together as a family. I don't mean to pry on someone's family, but at least that's what she shows on the internet. Panting and whimpering while showing us her grocery shopping is only getting progressively worse. This time she shows up with 37 pepperoni pizzas and, as usual, a pound of sugar. Mind you, 8 packs of cinnamon rolls last only 2 weeks in their house. At this point, it seems like she's actually getting those sugar bags for engagement, because almost every food haul video she buys a sugar bag and people comment about it. So at this point, it seems more like she's doing it for clout than actually using it, but we never know. Given how difficult she finds it to even do the simplest things because of her circumstances, it'll leave to wonder several things. And Pizza Mom doesn't stop getting defensive when people try to call her out on her extreme habits. She uploaded this video during the summer, and the amount of fruits and veggies she could have actually found at the supermarket would have been quite a lot. It's something simple we gotta remember. If they want, they will. That's a fun fact I dropped that goes with her situation, and to whatever situation that you're probably having in mind. Well, let's get back to what one of her viewers said. Defending herself on the internet is good. However, she might have reconsidered her choices because the kids genuinely deserve better than some processed slop. Because you can wrap your mind around 37 pizzas, and moreover, she goes grocery shopping quite frequently. Have y'all seen that woman who bought 32 pizzas for her children? That's how she started her video. It's her being defensive about all the comments getting to her once again. Come on, guys, why are you all complaining? It's not like she bought 33 pizzas, it was only 32. Get a perspective, for heaven's sake.
Have y'all seen that woman that bought 32 pizzas for her children? That grocery haul? I know you have to have seen it by now. 32! 32 pizzas. That's it. Like, what is she thinking? Like 5 bags of fries? Does she not realize how terrible fries are? And pizzas? They're like pretty soon gonna be outlawed. I mean, who even eats fries and pizza anymore? I can't be the only one that's seen it. I mean, I'm so blown away. And then, to top it off, she bought like 50 pounds of cheese. What? Who needs that kind of cheese? Who needs that much cheese? That is absolutely insane. I literally am so blown away. And you know what's the worst part of it all? I hear she is going shopping like 3 times a week. She's buying all that like 3 times a week. They're going through this like constantly. All they eat is fries, cheese, mayonnaise. I forgot about the mayonnaise. Fries, cheese, mayonnaise, and pizza. That's all. I'm so concerned for them. It's affected me so much that I'm having to eat cucumbers by the handfuls because I'm so afraid that it's contagious through the phone. I don't know. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's crazy.
Fries and pizza are not the real issue. The concern lies in the complete lack of variety within the diet, along with the heavy reliance on frozen foods. Frozen meals often contain high levels of preservatives and additives designed to extend shelf life. When these foods dominate daily meals, they can quickly become a point of concern. All that fries and the sheer amount of soda? Let's not even talk about that. We've seen them down 10 liters of soda within just 2 days. Technically, no food is inherently bad on its own. It's when she rarely approaches her diet with something fresh from the shelf. Let's be honest for a second, that cucumber isn't fooling anyone. It's sitting there like it's a part of the snack lineup, but it really feels more like a prop than anything else. The kind of thing placed in the frame so it looks balanced and healthy. And it's hard to believe the comments are suddenly getting to her so much that now cucumbers are replacing snacks out of fear. In this segment, the meal on the menu is Alfredo. And for the Italians watching, no, we don't know who Alfredo is. What she's making is not a homemade version. Not something built from scratch, just the familiar combination of boxed pasta and jarred sauce. The process is simple. Heat everything together, add a little seasoning to the prepackaged sauce, and call it done. It's the kind of quick, convenient dinner many households rely on. But looking at it more closely, it also highlights a bigger pattern that keeps coming up in these meals. Convenience first, nutrition somewhere further down the list.
This is Brantley's favorite. So he literally come out of the bedroom, he smelled it from the bedroom. So we're making Alfredo. No, it's not homemade, nothing, it's all out of the box or the jar. But we love this kind. It's so good. I just add some seasonings to my sauce. It's really good. You're not gonna eat? Huh? Why are you not gonna eat?
It's Alfredo.
Did I hear eat?
Yeah, Brantley did. Not me. This is Brantley's. Brantley! Ready. It's very hot, Shin.
Oh, yeah.
Is it yummy? What? I was wondering if it was yummy.
Okay. Is it hot?
It is hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is a good dinner, though. Oh, yeah. That is hitting right there.
Hey, how's it know?
So good. It's been a while since we've had this thing at Brantley.
Yeah. I was like,
Carson.
One possible explanation is simply a lack of understanding when it comes to nutrition. For a lot of people, learning how to build balanced meals isn't something that happens automatically. In fact, many only start paying attention to nutrition after facing a health wake-up call, like significant weight gain or the decision to lose weight. Until that moment, things like portion balance, protein, fiber, and whole ingredients often aren't even part of the conversation. So while the repeated reliance on boxed pasta and jarred sauces raised eyebrows for viewers, it's also possible that what's being seen here isn't intentional neglect of nutrition, but rather a gap in knowledge that plenty of people have experienced at some point.
Oh yeah, that is hitting right there.
Hey, how'd you know?
So good. It's been a while since we've had this thing at Brantley.
Yeah. I was like,
Bryson had me pick up like a bunch of subs. He likes the Walmart the Italian Hero subs from Walmart. So he had me pick those up for him the other day, like quite a few of them. That's what he ate tonight. He normally eats this too, but he didn't know I was cooking. Brantley, of course, eats this. He loves it. And then Braden's the only one that won't eat it. So my mom will eat it. My dad has ate it before. I don't know if he'll eat it tonight, but he does like it. I think.
I like it a lot. I eat it every time.
What?
I don't know how every time.
You do?
I eat it every time.
Yeah.
I just don't know about every time.
We're gonna enjoy our food.
Good food.
Very good food.
In many of her posts, there is a recurring complaint that her sons will eat only frozen foods. At the same time, she comes up and posts angrily, defending herself against the viewers, which is not exactly surprising. After all, the grocery haul was shown in full. Every item is laid out for everyone to see. And when people start to notice a small bag of grapes sitting next to dozens of frozen pizzas, naturally questions start to appear. Because when a 2-week grocery haul includes something like 30 plus frozen pizzas, multiple blocks of cheese, and what looks like a mountain of soda, dozens of bottles of Dr. Pepper, it says a lot. That's not a speculation. That's a mere reaction. She's putting everything up for shows. And what are we to assume? Many people believe picky eating often starts very early. When children grow up being offered mostly quick, easy, highly processed foods, those tastes can become the default. Over time, it becomes harder to introduce variety. And choices like giving young children sugary drinks such as soda raise even more concern for viewers who are thinking about long-term health. What's important to understand is that much of the criticism isn't actually about body size, like she claims the comments to be. But it's always more diet-related comments and fewer about body weight. Many people online have pointed out repeatedly that someone can be plus-size and still eat balanced, nutritious meals. Likewise, someone can be thin while having very poor eating habits. Body shape alone doesn't tell the full story. No one expects every meal to be perfectly healthy. Most people follow some version of a balance, something like an 80-20 or 70-30 approach, where the majority of meals are made up of whole or less processed foods, while snacks and convenience foods still have their place. But when a food haul appears heavily weighted towards frozen meals, soda, and processed items, with only a small presence of fresh foods, that balance starts to look off.
So I just wanted to come on here and address comments like this. Where's the healthy food? Why is Braden eating nothing but pizza? Do you not care about your children's health? Why are you so, there's a reason that you look like you do. Go figure, stuff like that. I've been getting that constantly, which I was already prepared to get that because I'm not, the typical stick skinny supermodel that everyone thinks that everyone should be. So I was already prepared for that when I started doing this journey on TikTok. But it is literally insane. Oh, by the way, excuse how I look. My parents have they have worked me to death. Look at my fingers. They're so dirty. I don't know how to get my fingernails clean. But they put me to work today. So anyway, it just blows my mind though how many people think that they know our entire lives based off of a few videos a day. Like 2 to 3 minute videos, probably 3 or 4 videos a day. Out of 24 hours, you think that you know my life. What is that? Just say they're 3 minutes each. 12 minutes and I post 4 videos. From 12 minutes, you think you know our entire lives? You think you know that I never push my kids to eat anything healthy, or that there's not a reason maybe that they are picky or that they only eat in certain things? That's just insane to me. It's crazy. My children are very, very picky. They got it honest. I was picky as a child. But there's also other reasons behind some of that, especially for Braden, that you guys don't understand. And the assumptions are just crazy. I get that I get that I'm not super skinny, but I haven't always been overweight. You forget, I've had 3 children. Not everyone bounces back. And you also don't understand that I don't always eat unhealthy. I do eat, and I enjoy my food, but not everything I eat is unhealthy all the time. And I am health conscious. I do try to eat better. I do want to lose weight. I'm not super unhealthy all the time. So just remember, just because you see our lives posted on this platform, that doesn't mean that you know everything. You do not know exactly how I live my life or how my children's lives are. Just be nice. It is not that hard. Just be kind. You guys are, it is insane. But truly, if you don't want to be nice, I'm probably the one that you can get away with it with, because I don't care. Anyways, y'all have a great rest of your day.
Her angry response videos don't end with that one, of course. In this one, she clearly stated that she's not going to stop buying pizzas ever. To all the criticism, her response was simply that she's going to buy what her household eats. Pizza, according to her, is always going to be part of that food haul, and that isn't going to change no matter what people online say. She also argues that on social media, it feels impossible to win. People criticize paper plates, question the food choices, and even doubt things she's shown before, like her garden or the food stored in a freezer. From her perspective, strangers on the internet don't get to dictate how she runs her household. She repeatedly emphasizes that the opinions of critics don't matter to her, while expressing appreciation for the followers who support her. At the same time, she draws a line when it comes to insults about her body or negative comments about her children, saying those types of comments will simply result in blocking people or choosing not to show her kids online anymore. Ultimately, the message in the video is clear. She's going to live the life that she wants, and outside criticism isn't going to change that.
Are you proud of this? Am I proud of what exactly? Buying groceries for my children? Or my family? Yeah. I get paid every 2 weeks, and if I budget a certain amount of money to go shopping. Do I purchase the same things every single time? No. Will I always buy pizza? Yes. Always. It is not going to stop. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care what y'all say. I do not care. You literally cannot win on this app. I can't breathe right. It's a crime to use paper plates. I have a garden. I've showed my garden on here. I showed my freezer on here. And even though I showed all of that, they're saying, oh, well, they're from 2022, so she's not eating those. Do you guys not know how that works? Tell me you have not gardened ever in your life without telling me, because that's what you just did. I mean, the comments and just the people telling me how to live my life is absolutely insane. I will never listen to strangers on the internet, ever. I love my life. I love the good people on here that are supportive, all of these amazing people that have been so kind and have supported me. I love you guys. But the hateful ones that are just like here to call me fat or talk badly about my children, which that's gonna stop. I'll just not post them. Or I'll block you. But the ones that want to do all that or, you know, tell me how to live my life, I don't care about you. Literally, I don't care. You guys can call me fat until you're blue in the face, and I will not care. So, do what you will. Maybe get a life. Whatever.
We've discussed the same earlier. However, this question remains unanswered. Turns out a lot of them have this same question. Another pattern viewers have started to notice is how quickly the content seems to adjust depending on how the audience reacts. When criticism about nutrition starts picking up, suddenly a small, healthy addition appears on the plate. A few crepes next to waffles drowning in syrup, or a vegetable mentioned somewhere in the meal. On the surface, it looks like an attempt to address the concerns, but to many viewers, it feels more like a play pretend than an actual change. A lot of the discussion also centers around the way she talks about food decisions with the kids. She often frames it as a compromise, saying she wants them to have a say in what they eat. But critics argue that young children aren't really in a position to guide their own nutrition, especially when the options presented to them lean heavily toward convenience foods. From their perspective, parenting means setting those boundaries early, so healthier habits become the norm. So when small tweaks appear, like blending cauliflower into pizza sauce or adding a token fruit on the side, it definitely seems like a low-effort attempt. What makes it bizarre for us is her endless defensive tone that comes across in these responses. To them, it feels incredibly dismissive of the long-term impact these habits could have on the kids. Any criticism about nutrition is brushed off, often with the explanation that life is busy, work is demanding, and there simply isn't time to prepare proper home-cooked meals. But that reasoning doesn't sit well with a lot of people watching, because parenting inevitably requires sacrifices. Time, effort, and consistency are part of the deal when it comes to raising children and shaping their habits. Another point people keep emphasizing is that nutrition doesn't really work on a canceling out system. Adding a small portion of fruit or a vegetable to the side of an otherwise heavily processed meal doesn't suddenly balance everything out. Fruits and vegetables are meant to be a meaningful part of the meal itself, sometimes even replacing less nutritious options, not just appearing as a token addition next to them. When those small gestures are presented as proof that everything's balanced, it comes across as missing the bigger picture. Critics are framed as haters, the conversation turns into an argument, and the underlying discussion about nutrition gets pushed aside. From the outside looking in, that lack of accountability is what really fuels the frustration. These shopping hauls always lead to more questions than answers from the audience. Take, for example, the multiple pounds of mayonnaise that appear in each trip. Naturally, people start asking how anyone could realistically use that much in a single week. In response, Pete's mom explains that it's all for making her homemade Outback-style ranch sauce for the family. Yet a closer look at the recipe reveals something striking. It doesn't even include the traditional hallmarks of ranch, like dill, parsley, or other common herbs. To many viewers, it raises the question of whether these large quantities of condiments are actually serving a practical purpose or simply feeding into convenience-focused cooking habits. And there's your answer to where all the mayonnaise jars are disappearing. In this video, you'll see a comment about Afrid. Her previous uploads did not have these comments, and neither she's spoken about her children's food aversions like we previously talked about, which clearly says that she simply started to go with whatever the comments say. Well, except for actually buying fresh produce off the shelf, but that's a conversation for another day. Watch this video where she gets really off on someone who left another critical comment.
Hey, Abraham, I don't know if you know this, but there's a button. It's like right up here somewhere. If you go to my profile, looks like a little like arrow. If you click that and then right down here somewhere, it'll say block. You can block me. Did you not know that? Please. It's crazy how easy it is. Like, that will allow you to never have to see me again, and vice versa. So do us both a favor and go ahead and click that for me. Block me. You don't ever have to see me again, and I don't ever have to see you again. And it is a win-win all the way around. I won't lose no sleep. I'm sure you won't either. Then again, you probably will. I think you just want to talk junk because you're miserable. But please, we love when, how do I say this politely? We love when trash takes itself out. So, bye.
As a matter of fact, everyone has had such a phase. I've had trouble trying new food and barely stepped out of my comfort zone, which doesn't mean all I had was a hamburger or a Happy Meal. I was served food and was meant to give it a shot regardless, even if it wasn't for the taste. A healthy meal that children most likely won't go for unless the parents give a push from behind. You can work with kids' preferences, sure, but you can't just let them run the show. That's not how parenting works. And in her case, she's totally skipping that responsibility and handing it over to the internet instead. Viewers see it as her letting her audience basically decide her kids' meals, instead of actually taking control herself. It ends up looking less like parenting and more like just going along with whatever's easiest.
Much better, but the pizza situation's gotta go. Son's gotta grow up. Tell him this is the last time you're getting pizza. So I'm not going to, this is not only directed to Dallas Wilson, this is directed to anyone that feels the same as him. I just want to know, who the heck do you, Dallas, and anyone else that agrees with him or feels this way, think you are? Who do y'all think you are? Like that last sentence, oh God, that last sentence literally baffles me. Like, tell him this is the last time you're getting pizza. Tell my son that, because what, you said so? No. Absolutely not. I will continue to buy pizzas every single grocery haul, whether you, Dallas, like it or anyone else likes it. Every single time. Does not matter. My son has food sensitivity. We have been dealing with this for most of his life. I don't owe you an explanation, Dallas, and I don't owe anyone else an explanation. I'm not going to discuss my son's issues any further when it comes to his eating habits. Let me throw my air quotes in, okay? I'm gonna do some air quotes because I know y'all love them. I also want to address the content creators on this app who are using my videos for content. Like, how sad is that? Now, the ones that are coming in after and like basically like telling people like leave her alone, you know, standing up for me, I appreciate that, because you didn't come on here and start bashing me for content. You are making content about me to defend me after so many people have come on and completely just tried to bash me and just try to, I guess, hurt my feelings. I really don't know, honestly. It's a sad attempt. So good luck. I think it's sad. That's all I can say. Make your own content. Also, I want to address another thing. So many people are saying, you know, if you don't care or if it doesn't bother you, then stop replying. No, I'm going to reply to people because I'm not going to sit here and let people talk so much crap about me and not respond. It's just not my nature. It's not who I am. Also, a lot of people are so upset that I'm like coming back with like snarky comments and this and that and the other. That's just my personality. I just don't care. I don't care if you disagree with my lifestyle because it's that's the key word, my lifestyle. I'm gonna come back and defend myself because why wouldn't I? It just doesn't make sense for me not to. But I do laugh at a lot of them, honestly. Really, I sit back and I am like cracking up for like an hour at a time. I'm just like going through the comments and it's so funny. I think it's important to remember that you guys just don't know everything and you don't know the reasons behind anything. And that's just that. I mean, you got to think you started seeing my content, maybe some of you just now, some of you since October when I started. But you don't know any of the before that. So just remember, you don't know it all. You don't know the reasons for everything. So just be kind. It's really not hard. To my haters, keep hating.
The issue with Pizza Mom claiming her family eats healthy sometimes is that she literally posts so many of their meals online. Sure, maybe occasionally there's a slightly better meal, but the majority are still packed with carbs and fats, sometimes even doubling up on carbs in a single meal. And the excuse that the healthy stuff just doesn't get filmed doesn't really hold up, because what she does show is always the easiest, quickest meals to throw together. So viewers are left thinking, really? Off-screen, you're somehow putting in all this extra effort that never appears in your content. It doesn't really add up. So what really happens when she makes a homemade meal? When I say homemade meal, I mean an actual meal. Probably like beef and broccoli, and I'm currently hungry as I make this video in all fairness.
It's supper time at our house, and tonight I'm gonna go ahead and put this broccoli in. We're gonna roast it in the oven at 400 for 20 minutes. I did put Parmesan cheese, like the grated Parmesan, lemon pepper, and garlic salt, and of course some olive oil.
As she said in one of her videos, they do eat veggies, probably not enough, but they do have some. Well, that probably isn't all, but sure. But from what we notice, Pizza Mom's tendency towards laziness extends beyond the kitchen, and one of the most noticeable examples is her consistent use of disposable paper and plastic plates. While some might see this as a minor detail, it actually reflects a larger issue regarding habits and mindset. I mean everything when I say this, from making food to serving it on disposable plates. This might be a controversial take. I know we're all too lazy to wash that one plate and a spoon or a fork after dinner. However, it doesn't mean that you're going to serve food on paper plates and have plastic spoons and forks to have food, which sounds like a fast stretch. Not everyone has a dishwasher, which is understandable, and not everyone has the patience all the time to clear the dishes, which is also understandable when it comes to this. But it just shows Pizza Mom's laziness is at another level. Most importantly, it encourages wastefulness and prevents the development of basic routines like washing and maintaining one's own tableware. Obviously, you won't be tossing out half your food every single meal, but it also teaches a routine, cleaning up after yourself, taking care of what you have, instead of just trashing it all. Psychologically, there's something satisfying about actually using what you buy for its full purpose. It makes you feel like your effort and resources matter. You're not some barn animal shoving slop into a trough. It gives a sense of control and accomplishment, a tangible reminder that you're more than just another face in the crowd. At the end of the day, it's hard not to feel a bit protective when it comes to creators like this, especially because their kids really don't deserve any ridicule or unwanted attention. It feels kind of selfish to build content around young children. They don't have a choice to opt out, and the exposure can stick with them in ways that last far beyond a single video. That said, the focus here is really on her personality and the habits she brings to her account. She does things like record herself driving the family to grab a meal, or even stopping to sample takeout in the car because she just couldn't wait to dig into the grease. It's less about the kids and more about the tendencies and choices she puts on full display for her audience.